Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. No, I'm not going to do that one again. Today we're looking at a completed model build, and it's not any of them. Let's take these off. It's not any of the models I had been currently working on. It's not the 1 in 35 scale Badger. It's not the 1 in 72 scale Hurricane. It's not the 1 in 9 scale Superbike. It's not the 1 in 144 scale Kawanishi flying boat, and it's not the 1 in 700 scale USS Lexington aircraft carrier. It is in fact, as you've probably already seen in the description, a Flying Tiger P40 in 1 in 144 scale. So I've had to do what you normally do. My wife has loaned me the pound. Doesn't like me to hold on to them because they disappear too quickly on frivolous things like 1 in 44 scale P40 Warhawks. She knows me too well. Anyway, I've had to do the pound coin. I see all the guys do it with the little tiny airplanes, pound coin or whatever denomination you use. Right, it's a... Go on, Gav, you've really prepped this up well, haven't you? That's what it is, Micro Wings from Revell. I didn't realise at the time, although I paid £3 including the delivery, so you get what you pay for. It's a early 70s, I believe, kit. So we've got raised panel lines, just a hole with no form of cockpit, just a hole, and that's it. And Gav, why did you want to try a 1 in 44 scale kit? 1 in 144 scale, that's what I said, wasn't it? I keep tripping up on that. As usual, you know, you get inspiration from different places, and I was on, I've got an Instagram account, check out Gav My Art. Not my arse, my art. Sorry, YouTube, I did make a tiny swear word there. I apologise, people. But yeah, Gav My Art, all in one. G-A-V, obviously, art. So I believe it's capital G and capital A, all put together. Anyway, as they put up photographs, you know, I'd seen this guy making 1 in 144 scale aircraft, and they were fantastic. I mean, he's got some photo etch on, not all of them, but he does a bits of scratch building and that, and I went, oh yes, everything out the window. Gav wants to build this. Now, I have head problems, as we all know. Now, a lot of that might be down to my head problems, but I've seen you guys out there as well. Yes, you guys do the same thing, so don't just blame me. I can't just blame myself on my head problems. I knew it wasn't going to take me very long, which is why I wouldn't have taken on yet another kit. Alright, yes, I probably would. But hence the Kawanishi flying boat that I was building last night, and will be built a bit later on, either today or tomorrow. Anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I? And I thought to myself, right, what can I get? I didn't want to order one of those lovely little kits from Sweet in Japan, from, is it Plaza Japan? I have no tie-ins to any of the companies. I love all the, you know, the Japanese Zeros and the Oscars and all that stuff. And they've got some cracking, there's another company as well, Mark 1, I've noticed. They do some lovely aircraft as well in this scale. And they're not overly, you normally get, for the fighters anyway, you normally get a couple of couple in the kit. I'm not sure about the twin engine bombers, like the Mark 1 do the Beaufort, and they do the Dornier DO-17, all that stuff. I'm not sure if you get both two planes when it gets to that, but they're like, I don't know, £15, £10, £20, something like that. And I thought, well, it's a bit, for what I've already spent out already on all my other stuff, you know, no Gav, no. And then these just happened to pop up, £3. Still can't believe it. I've had a whale of a time. £3 on this little kit, and I've been building it on and off in the background for about a week because I've been doing some bits and pieces to it, which we'll go into in a minute. And I thought, right, I'm going to get one of these. I know it's not going to be particularly much for £3, including delivery. How many times more am I going to say that today? But I'll do what I can to it. First of all, what do you need? Well, first of all, you need a little cheap kit. What else do you need? You need modelling skills. No, I don't have any. But I could blame it on the teeny weeny kit. Do I have any time to do them? Not really, but I don't sleep a lot, so I'm sure I can find some time somewhere along the line. And yeah, there we go. So to my mate Joe over there in SoCal. Yeah, you know, those of us in the know, we call it SoCal. I believe it's somewhere near Margate. Anyway, he loves his 1 in 1/48 scale. Well, Joe, go down to Burbank House of Hobbies, get rid of all those 1 in 48s and buy a load of these teeny weeny ones. You can have little boxes in the stash, you can have little aircraft on the shelf, and you can have a whale of a time, all for, if not necessarily well, I suppose you can get these for £3 in America as well. And with the exchange rate at the moment, it'd be quite as easy to go and fill your boots over here. Anyway, Joe, get yourself some 1/14 scale. To Mamara Doug, over at Doug Hensley, who's presently building a Warhawk P40 Flying Tigers, and he's doing his in 1 in 1/48. Doug, Space Mara, look at it. Look how many of these you could make for the not even for the price, just the size. And if you get some of these that have 2 in, yeah, you pay a bit more, but think about it, Mara, think about it. Shelf space, clear everything off and build these little fellas. Right. Let's get down to the bench and take a look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Can we all see this little thing? Let's get a bit closer. I mean, when you do this, it looks quite big until you actually put your finger next to it. So it's a P40. I could have told you that, oh, actually it's on the box, isn't it? Although I'm not 100%, Revell would have probably got it right, as it's not it's the one on the box shows the 2 machine guns at the top of the engine cowling. No, they don't, they just call it a P40. I will do I've just thought of something. I've got a book to show you on the P40, which I've had for years, but you might want to get it if you ever want to find out about the Flying Tigers. So I'll quickly do a face to camera at the end. Yeah. P40, I can't remember now, and I've got the book behind me, and I still can't remember. Now it's gone. So we'll just call it P40 Warhawk. Now what have I done to it? Let's get a little pointy stick so we don't crush it to death. Right, where do we start, Gav? I suppose we start on the cockpit. So let's just gently lift her off. I don't suppose we're going to see a lot, because there ain't a lot in there, but I did try. Right, we can just about see let's not knock the aerial wire off. Yes, it's got an aerial wire as well, and that's a bit grotty, that one, isn't it? Let's oh, come on, Gav, you've really prepped up for this one. Right, let's try this. Right, so I've built a cockpit. I gave her an armoured back. Can we see? Yeah, armoured back. I gave her a little bit of a headrest thing. We've got a seat I made up. I put sides on, so we've got a trim wheel and a throttle, engine throttle. And so we've got a joystick, and we have got, not that there's anything on there, it's just painted black, but we've also got our gauges and dials. Oh, and I put a base to it as well, just so they could actually sit on something. No, I didn't put any rudder pedals in. I'll leave that to people like Joe to do that. Right, so we've got that bit done. What else? Oh, as you can see, the poorly fitting, I'll take the canopy off now. That was a shame. It comes obviously in a one-piece canopy. You're not designed to look in. I wanted, whenever you see, I prefer them with, I don't like seeing the canopies on aircraft. I prefer them to seem, open. So I thought, oh, no matter whatever it looks like, I'm going to do it. So I took my trusty razor saw out and I cut these bits and these bits that sit on the side, because once you cut that off, obviously you need to cut it off to slide it back, if that makes sense. So these had to get they don't sit in brilliantly, but they didn't when I dry fitted it as a complete canopy. It's just one of those things. It's an old tiny kit. I believe the newer ones from obviously the different manufacturers in the last few years, like Sweet and Platts and Mark 1, that they're a heck of a lot better. Apologise if you're crashing and banging. It's the blinds banging. It's roasting in the UK. I do believe my marrow Steve Jones has probably passed out. He floats around his giant. He's actually on the south coast, but he floats around on one of them giant unicorn inflatables, sipping his pina coladas and reading his modelling magazines. Anyway, I'm digressing. So we've cut the canopies up. We've made our cockpit. Of course, the radio antenna that didn't survive first contact with the enemy, so I made a new one of that, and I've put a little bit of the easy line, but it's not easy line, it's rigging line or whatever they call it, on. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I made myself a trusty scribing tool. I have got a scriber, but it would have not for this scale. So I've got myself a piece of wooden dowel and put one of them big pins in, just cut it off and stuck it in there, and that did the job. Unfortunately, I tried to do it with masking tape when I rescribed it, because it's all raised panel lines. Some of them I did really well, and others went for a Burton, as we say over here. They wiggling all over the shop. I know people say use that old dyno tape. Obviously I hadn't got any of that, but what I could have used was electrical tape, which I've got tons of, and I actually put a roll of it in my modelling stores for that type of thing. But Gav with his head completely forgot. Oh well. But I did scribe all the panel lines. I then riveted them I took the riveting wheel out of I haven't got one of them expensive Rosie the riveters, and I don't believe you can get them now. But I've just got the trumpeter one or something like that. And I took the wheel off and I just hand wheeled it along. And again, it went all over the shop, but and some have survived first contact with a painter. It's all lacquer paint on here, because I thought I'm not going to put acrylic on and blot out everything. So yeah, I've scribed the panel lines, I've riveted them. What else have we done? Oh, I drilled out the end. Let's see, just about drilled out the end of the exhaust at the front. This was a solid piece, the classic air intake at the front. Where are we with my pointy stick? That was solid, and I carved that out, and I put some of the same wire that I've used on, stuck guns on, by the way, machine guns. It just had little lumps on, and I put the supports. I don't know if that's a splitter in there that splits the airflow, or if it just supports the cowling. But anyway, I made a rough one of those. You can hardly see it there, but that's what I did. I put some wire down the legs to represent the hydraulic lines. Did Gav do anything else? Hang on. Let's go back a bit, Gav. Underneath, did I do? Oh yeah, I did. I put some of these on to represent the framework underneath in the wheelbase. Again, some wire. It's all I had, so that's what I did. I didn't go for doing the flaps or anything. I thought it was a bridge too far for me. Oh, and I did the cooling fins, or gills, whatever you want to call them. But the cooling fins, they were just a mosh of plastic, really. So I cut that back and added my own plastic cooling fins on. And they do stick normally out with a bit of a lip on that, because they've got some. I think they're opened with a. Are they opened with a canvas behind them or something like that? So that was that. And again, I tried to put out. So obviously they've got I can never pronounce this, ailerons, or whatever. You know what I'm on about, flaps. They're obviously not metal, they're fabric, so I left those. But again, I'll try to rescribe those as best I could. Yes, that's great filling there. Never mind. Decals, outer register. I didn't know till I put them on. I wasn't going to try and, I did think of trying to paint up to them again, and I thought no, just end up in a mess. So unfortunately they are what they are. But the decals are out of register on all 4 roundels. See underneath there. What else? I do prefer the Panda Bears for some reason out of the squadrons. We had the Adam and Eves, the Panda Bears, and the Hells Angels. And this is obviously they always do the Hells Angels, tend to, these different companies. I don't know about you guys, that seems a bit overscale to me, but it is what it is. Luckily the eye is separate to the shark mouth, so you don't have a huge amount of carrier film. So it's AK real colours, bronze green, and standard camouflage colour. Was it SCC? I used I believe it was the AK mask, that stuff that self levels and all that. It's supposed to peel. It's supposed to peel away and leave nothing. Well, it didn't. I didn't tell until I sprayed varnish all over it and put it intact. There's a nice bit there, and there was a nice bit there which I tried to paint out. But at this scale, it was so tiny, I just didn't see it. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. I just cut away. There was two attachment points for the drop tank. You can just see it under there, and I cut it out at the last minute after I painted everything. I was going to attach it, and I realised it had a great big thing sticking up, so I just cut it out. I flattened the wheels very slightly as well, because of course you're going to see the weight on wheels, aren't you? Right, so that's that, I think. The base, I do believe in supporting the Pringle industry. Many Pringles gave their lives up for this base, and many more to come. Yeah, that white glue is really doing a good job there and going opaque, in it. Not opaque, see-through, whatever. Bit of spare blue foam. I've got plenty of it, of my Indian Mutiny project that keep going wrong when I keep trying to do buildings. So I stuck some blue foam in, as you can see, and the way I cut it round, it just, happy accident, it cut it at an angle. So I just used my little scalpel. And then just, sand and some gravel. I couldn't put the big gravel on, obviously. That's why I made it a bit darker, because this is obviously China. I thought it's probably actually be a bit more, whenever I've seen pictures, they're a bit more dusty. But in the end, I went. So what I'm trying to say is, I was going to. What was he going to say, Gav? I was going to put the static grass down, not as a whole, but just where these tufts are, really. But I thought, no, let's just go for some tufts, just to give it some variation. And there we go. I think for £3, there's photographs at the end of the video. Again, not huge quality. But I think for £3, yes, I should have been doing other stuff. But when I painted it, I did the grey primer, and then black, and then grey, and then sky grey and white or something, which has given me some lighter areas. And I've also gone over those areas with some oils as well, just to patch them up a bit. I think that's it. So yeah, as I say, it's surprising where you can find some fun modelling. It's not taking me months and months to do. I didn't rush it. It's just been a lot of fun. Say £3. I mean, it's probably about £1.50, £1.70, something like that, really. When take the postage out of it. A lot of fun. I'll definitely do some modelling for. Well, I am, aren't I? Because I've got a Kawanishi flying boat. It'll be interesting to see this at scale next to it, because you could probably fit about 3 of these along the wing of that Kawanishi. It shows in real life how big that Kawanishi is. But yeah, I'll definitely do some. I am seriously thinking about maybe hoping I don't get taxed and thinking and getting. I might get some of the zeros in from Sweet, because they only sell in Japan as far as I can see, from Plaza in Japan, or I might get a Mark 1, you know, a bomber or a fighter or something of some description. But yeah, really enjoyed it. As I say, I knew that that's why I've left the canopy off for now. I knew the canopy was going to sit crap, and I wasn't disappointed. And yes, it doesn't fit well, but it didn't particularly fit well on when I dry fitted it. Everything on the canopy was all intact anyway. I'll presume one of the you know, a less vintage kit would probably fit a lot better. And yes, my panel lines could have done a hell of a lot better, but still, I really enjoyed it. I think that's £3 well spent, and it shall go in my cabinet. And because of the size of it, it won't take up much space. I've got myself a little display base should I want to get rid of the plane and put something else on, or I've got plenty of Pringle tubs. He says with putting on about a stone. I've got plenty of Pringle lids to make for 1/44 scale. Obviously, it won't fit a bomber particularly well, but you know, it protects the wings and everything. So, right, thanks for hearing me out on that. I'm going to do a face to camera and show you that book I was on about. Right, guys, this is the book. Funny enough, it says Flying Tigers on the top. Fighting Elites, so I take it it was a part of a book series. Now, I got this a good few years ago at one of these, you know, cheap bookshops. I'm doing this again. YouTube, copyright, all the rest of it. I'm doing this purely in the was it for historical, teaching people, and trying to sell the book. Does that sound good? Come on, Gav. Well, we'll do it in a minute. Hang on a second. Right, we'll just go for a generic picture. We've got some Flying Tigers stood in front of their P40 Warhawk. There's the IBS, whatever it is, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. No, but you know what I mean. That one there. Let's have a look again. If you fancy a decent book, it's not got a ton of it's not got colour profiles or anything like that in it. It is a book on the Flying Tigers, not particularly huge, but to be honest with you, I always thought, I remember watching that John Wayne film years ago. Is this chair sinking or is it me? A few years ago, long years ago, I watched the John Wayne film, you know, the Flying Tigers, and I thought they were there in the 30s, you know, late 30s type of stuff. I didn't realise that they were only in existence for literally on the run up to the Americans entering the war. Not to say that they didn't shoot down a lot of aircraft, because they did, but yeah, I thought they had a lot more duration before the war. I know they carried on as part of the American Air Force in China afterwards, but yeah, there we go. So there will be some photographs of. I'm very proud of that little fella. Some photographs on at the end. I've started to build the Kawanishi. I was sticking the giant wing section together last night, some other bits and pieces. I can probably get away with Kawanishi green for the cockpit, but I don't know whether I could get away with doing the metallic framework. But there's only a tiny little bit. I'm probably might fudge that, so I can carry on building it and just do my own look up Kawanishi green. It's just a cockpit colour, but Japanese aircraft you see all the people jumping up on people's things already, you know, and the thing is with these 1/44 scale aircraft is they're not really built like that one. They're not built for interiors. They're built to see on the outside, you know, in tiny scale. So I don't really see the sense in me going and buying Japanese proper stuff you'd use on a 1 in 48 or 1 in 72, you know, for that. On the outside, yes. I know that Japanese black has blue in it. Well, I do a lot of that with the hand painting, with painting figures and stuff. So I can get, and I'm going to paint. No, that's the 1 in 72 Hurricane. I was going to say I was going to do all that in acrylic. I may get some MRP paint, because they do a huge Japanese. Believe they do a huge Japanese aircraft range, and I'll paint the fuselage in the whatever colour they tell me to. But I think on the interior there's hardly anything to see, so I think I've been wasting my money, for that. So Then again, I could be a pound up. I could be a pound up if she doesn't ask for it back. Hey, 2 more of these and I can get another one of these little fellas. Right, look after yourselves, guys. I'm just chuffed that I've got a... That's happy in the UK. I'm just chuffed that I've got a model built. Not any of the ones that I thought I would have, but it's built. It's even got decals on. And I did scratch building to it. Yeah, try it out, honestly. Yeah, they're little, but I think you'd enjoy them. Johnny Mac, there you go. How about, I've never seen you build a 1/1 scale. How about giving it a go, Mara? Look after yourselves. Take care. Thanks for all the kind comments and likes and whatever on the previous video, the nap one. What have we got? We will have some more naps coming up in the next couple of days. Those Empress Dragoons. Kawanishi, I'll do I think when I've got it together, filled and everything, I'll do a, you know, just say, is she looks like in primer type of thing. I've got to get some more of that, some more of the 1 in 35 scale, because I need to get a couple of them out of the way, because I've got the USS Lexington starting in another week, and I really could do with getting the bike or the Badger at least next stage along. I get diverted easy. Look after yourselves again, and we'll speak soon on another video.